You're blocking the view, kid. This is a finance meeting. You know, finance. Take your mop and go.
Yes, quick question, though. Which line item covers the $28 million you lost in Q2?
Page 4.
Right under operations.
He walked into the conference room holding a mop, not a briefcase. The polished floors reflected his reflection, but nobody saw him, just the uniform. Laughter echoed as the billionaire CEO joked about people knowing their place. What no one knew was that the janitor listening quietly in the corner once owned a company larger than the one mocking him now. When the CEO called him out, humiliating him in front of everyone, the room went silent. What happened next would leave every executive speechless. Watch until the end to see why humility matters most. Wait a second. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories like this. David had worked nights cleaning offices for over 5 years. Few knew his story, and he preferred it that way. Before the overalls and mop, he had been a finance executive, a brilliant strategist with a master's degree from Stanford. But after losing his wife to illness and his company to betrayal, he fell into depression and debt. He took any job he could find to stay afloat. At the luxurious Glass Tower Corp headquarters, his quiet efficiency went unnoticed. He listened more than he spoke, absorbing the arrogance that floated through the air like expensive cologne. Each evening, he wiped down the same marble tables where billion-dollar deals were made. He never complained, never revealed his past. But that morning, fate had other plans. A corporate seminar on leadership, where the CEO decided to make an example out of him. The company's top executives gathered, waiting for the CEO's grand entrance. Cameras flashed, assistants rushed. David was quietly mopping near the back wall, trying to finish before the event began. Then came the booming voice. Who left? This janitor in here? This is a finance seminar, not a cleaning shift, the room chuckled. David froze, his hands gripping the mop. The CEO smirked. Do you even know what ROI stands for? The laughter grew louder, but David looked at him, calm, composed. Return on investment, he said softly. The CEO's grin faded for a second, then returned, sharper. Well, maybe you should invest in a new career because this one clearly isn't working. Embarrassed, David nodded and turned toward the exit. But as he reached the door, a voice from the front stopped him, a junior analyst, nervous but curious. Wait, sir, weren't you the founder of Titan Capital? The room went still. Heads turned. Phones came out. The CEO blinked, confused. David turned back slowly, eyes steady. Yes, he said quietly. Before I lost everything, including my faith in how people treat others. A hush fell. The CEO forced a laugh, trying to diffuse the tension. Well, if you were that good, you wouldn't be holding a mop now, would you? David just smiled, and everyone could feel something was about to happen. Without a word, David walked to the front of the room, past the stunned executives. He reached into his worn satchel and pulled out a small folder. His old portfolio, faded but intact. Inside were the blueprints for Titan Capital's acquisition strategy, later adopted by Glass Tower Corp itself. The projector flickered as he placed a single sheet on the screen. It bore his signature, the very system the CEO bragged about using, the one that built his empire, was David's creation. Gasps rippled across the room, the CEO's face drained of color. The silence was suffocating. David looked at him and said, I may clean your floors now, but never forget, respect isn't measured by status. The audience erupted, not in laughter this time, but in thunderous applause. David left the room quietly as whispers followed him down the hallway. Days later, Glass Tower Corp, publicly credited him for his foundational work. The CEO issued a formal apology, though the world knew it was too late for redemption. David didn't seek revenge. He sought peace. He took a modest consulting offer, not for money, but to teach future leaders the value of empathy. Sometimes the most powerful people in the room wear uniforms no one notices. Racism, classism, arrogance, they all share the same root. Forgetting that worth isn't tied to wealth. The story of David spread online, a reminder that greatness doesn't always wear a suit. So ask yourself, how do you treat those who serve you every day? Comment where you're watching from. Take care.